Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify and operate with integrity and transparency. Today we're diving into an update from Giga Chad himself, Michael Saylor, and his recent 44-slide 3-minute presentation to Microsoft about getting on the Bitcoin standard and my hypothesis about this cycle being very, very different. So stay tuned.
Picture this. 6 months ago, Bitcoin was $50,000. If you'd deposited then, you could have grown your portfolio by thousands. But waiting? It costs you more every day. Drip2BTC turns missed opportunities into gains. Buy Bitcoin, deposit it, and watch your wealth grow effortlessly. Vacations, new cars, financial freedom, it starts here. Drip2BTC.com.
All right. Again, unless you've been sleeping under a rock, you may not be aware of Bitcoin and its massive tear that is doing through the financial ecosystem, or you may not be familiar with Michael Saylor and the first public company to adopt the Bitcoin standard and put MicroStrategies on the board with Bitcoin. And he was given an opportunity to do a 3-minute pitch, and we're going to actually watch that. He put it out on X, and basically what it boils down to is him telling Microsoft, aka the number 4 largest asset by market cap, to adopt the Bitcoin standard. Now, before we go into this, the reason why this is important is because nation states, companies, governments, retail is all waking up to Bitcoin. And remember, it is a limited supply. And it doesn't matter if they adopt it now or later. The point that it is on people's minds means that you have to capitalize on this while they are still twiddling their thumbs. So him pitching this to Microsoft and other companies knowing about this, they will see that as something that they too will need to do, whether or not Microsoft does. Think about if you were Tesla, for example, so you're Elon, and you know that Michael Saylor, I think Tesla, or it doesn't have the Bitcoin on its balance sheet, but obviously Elon Musk is big on crypto. But we'll go with Facebook then. You're Zuckerberg or the chair or whatever, and you hear about Microsoft getting the pitch to buy Bitcoin or put Bitcoin on balance sheet. You've seen what's happened with MicroStrategies. And even if Microsoft doesn't do it, it just behooves you as a smaller company down here to jump ahead of that, because Bitcoin continues to price appreciate. So you buying it now gives you a better opportunity if these bigger players come into the game later due to maybe more bureaucracy, red tape, whatever the case may be. And this is the same thing that's happening with the US. Trump announced the Bitcoin strategic stockpile. He's not president yet to take action on this. Plus, when he gets there, there's still a bunch of red tape to go through. Just announcing that lets every other country know, like, whoa, the US is thinking about this and saying they're going to do it, and he won. Let's go ahead and get our bag ready now. So the reason I bring that up, because there's people in my chat, and I've seen it on the videos, that are waiting for the opportunity, to buy Bitcoin on the dip in the next cycle or whatever, and they're gambling and all the memes and other stuff like that. And I just don't know how much of a drawdown we'll actually see in this next cycle. I do believe there will still be a bear market, of course, and historically the bear markets have gotten smaller. You had 83% drawdown, 84, well, technically that's more than that one, right? Then 77, let's just say it's 70 or whatever the case may be. Because of all this adoption outside of retail, the question is, how low will the bear market low be? And how high will we be when that happens? So let's just say Bitcoin goes to 250K. Let's just throw that number out there. And let's say the new bear market low is 50% drawdown due to leverage. Well, 50% from 250 is 125, which means if you wait, this is just potential, you waiting till the bear market next, whenever that happens at the end of 2025, going into 2026, you may not get an opportunity to buy Bitcoin cheaper than you can get it now. Right now, we could still see 30% swing, and I've heard people like Raoul Powell and some others mention that we could get up to, I think even Gary Soloway, get up to 110 and see that 30% correction that puts it back in the 80s, high 70s, right? So that is definitely possible. But the longer you wait and you trying to gamble your way to wealth, the less likelihood your opportunity, or the more expensive your opportunity is going to be down the road. Now let's take a look at this pitch from Michael Saylor.
Microsoft can't afford to miss the next technology wave, and Bitcoin is that wave. Bitcoin represents the greatest digital transformation of the 21st century. It represents digital capital. The global wealth is distributed across assets that provide utility and others that preserve capital. But risk is destroying trillions of dollars of that capital every single year, and investors are turning to digital capital in the form of Bitcoin in order to avoid that risk. Digital capital is economically and technically superior to physical capital, and it represents a revolutionary advance in capital preservation. The asset class itself is growing from trillions to hundreds of trillions of dollars, and it is backed by digital power, along with political and economic power. It makes sense for Microsoft to be powered by digital capital. Bitcoin's the best asset you can own. The numbers speak for themselves. It makes a lot more sense to buy Bitcoin than to buy your own stock back, or to hold Bitcoin rather than holding bonds. If you're going to outperform, you're going to need Bitcoin. And those bonds are undermining your options market and your equity liquidity. Luckily, you have an alternative. Public support for Bitcoin is surging, as is political support, as is support for the US Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, as is Wall Street support. And the President of the United States says,
never sell your Bitcoin, bro.
That's why we're entering year one of the crypto renaissance. And you have a choice to make. Cling to the past or embrace the future. Divest billions of dollars and slow your growth rate. Invest billions of dollars and accelerate your growth rate. You've surrendered hundreds of billions of dollars of capital over the past 5 years, and you've just amplified the risks that your own shareholders face. If you want to escape that vicious cycle, you're going to need an asset without counterparty risk. What if you could buy a $100 billion company growing faster than Microsoft for 1 times revenue? What if you could keep doing it every single year? It's time for Microsoft to evaluate its Bitcoin strategic options. We've created an open source model. You can plug in your own assumptions. You can convert your cash flows and your dividends and your buybacks and your debt into Bitcoin. If you do that, you'll add hundreds of dollars to the stock price. You can create trillions of dollars of enterprise value. You can strip away risk from your shareholders, and you can prosper on the Bitcoin standard. So do the right thing for the world and adopt Bitcoin.
That is crazy. So I don't know what Microsoft will do. We don't know what any of these other companies will do. But again, like I mentioned earlier in the video, the fact that this pitch is going out, and I believe Apple even mentioned something about it as well, but there are just on the top 100, billions of dollars of capital where they can just put 1%. I think my MicroStrategy has gone in like all in 100%. And obviously these companies can't do that, but they can definitely put less than 5%, 1% to 5% of their available cash, or as he said, bonds, treasuries, whatever they're doing, instead of doing buybacks, all these things they can put on Bitcoin. If they do that, that is like the infinite money glitch for Bitcoin. That's a lot of capital flowing into Bitcoin. These are just US companies. This can get out of hand very, very quickly. So what happens when, this just goes nation states and all that other stuff globally, and everyone is getting into this all over the world? What do you think the opportunity of a bear market actually is for Bitcoin? Not to say there won't be one. We'll definitely have corrections. We'll have drawdowns. But will it rival more of TradFi with like 15 to 30% is a bear market? And will you be missing the opportunity by sitting on the sidelines now? I do not know. All I know that is the writing is on the wall and multiple signs are pointing to stack your sats now or miss this opportunity and be left behind. And right now we are indeed in the altcoin season and alts are pumping. And that is a definite way to allocate capital, and they will outperform Bitcoin during this cycle. Well, not all of them. A large amount of them will outperform Bitcoin during the cycle. XRP has pumped 100% almost in the last 7 days. And you can see just lots of green on this chart. HBAR, I'm up 164% on that one. You got some 70s in here, 118. So you can definitely be leveraging the alts right now and then use that to buy into Bitcoin later. But be careful, because nobody knows where the top will be. And the main TLDR disclaimer of this video is that I don't think we know what this cycle is going to look like, because there are too many unknown unknowns coming in. Before, when we had this nice 4-year Bitcoin cycle chart to go off of, this was all retail. This had nothing to do with the near $1 quadrillion of value floating around in traditional markets. So how much of that does Bitcoin capture this cycle and going forward? I do not know. But I do know that I am stacking sats this right now, every day. And I do not plan on selling my Bitcoin, as Michael Saylor mentioned from that clip with President Trump. So even at trying to time the top or find a way to take profits, I'm gonna take profits in everything else but Bitcoin. Keep the Bitcoin and then take the profits on the alts. That's my strategy. All right, let me know what you guys think. What do you think this cycle will shape up like? What do you think we will see? Highs, lows? Is it changed? Is it going to follow the same 4-year cycle? Do you believe in that narrative? Had you changing your mind on it? Any of that stuff, drop it in the comments below. And smash that HBO special, help brother out. Like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real-world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.